Welcome to another episode of Careful Boys, where we give a little bit of advice on a very specific niche situation that maybe most of you haven't even experienced. But what do you say if you have a friend who is constantly and progressively copying you?
Wow. I would love that. That would be hilarious.
And that's like,
I would
kind of
just
like
do random stuff to see if they're actually copying me or not. And
yeah, it's confirmed. Like, say they're copying the way you look, the kind of the things you say, the diction in your voice, like the hobbies that you pick up. They just are kind of.
They copy the way I look. That's great. So now we can go out in public and I don't have to be worried.
Yeah.
And this is like a non-mutual thing. It's not like, hey, we should do this together. No, it's just not, you do it, and then they just started doing it.
That you would want to copy you. It's like they don't really. They're not pulling it off.
What if they do a really bad version of what they think you are, and it's just really embarrassing too?
Honestly, that's what happens. Yeah. Yeah.
Those words.
Yeah. They're not doing a good job.
What I did hate was when I was maybe like 10 or 11, I would go visit my cousin or my family in Taiwan. And my cousin was like 5 years younger than me, and he would copy everything I do, and I fucking hated it. Like, I'd play with one toy, right? And then he wants to play with it, and then so like your parents are like, oh, just be the bigger brother or whatever. Yeah. And so I'm like, all right, fine, you can go play with it, and I go play with this thing, same thing. Then I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna go outside. I wanna go outside. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, and then you try to trick him, I'm gonna take a nap. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna take a nap too. I'm like, what the fuck? God damn, there's nothing I could do.
This is what this reminds me of, though, for sure.
And it's so fun. And
he like looked up to you so hard and just like, get off.
You're so cool. You're his American cousin.
Yeah. That is true.
You're so cool.
He takes naps all the time.
He takes American naps, dude.
It's your sleep cycle.
All the time, for
Your
sure.
brother would do it?
I would do that to my brother, my older brother.
Oh, you have an older brother?
Damn, imagine his jaw.
Imagine his
He's more, he's
How many years apart are you guys?
He's 2 years older.
Was he annoyed by you doing that?
For sure, yeah. Get really.
What kind of stuff did you copy?
I just wanted to do everything he did. I wanted to hang out with him all the time and probably do all the sports and shit he did. Yeah.
And he didn't like you. You didn't. It didn't integrate well that you were hanging out with him and his friends. That was
Yeah, he didn't like it. He didn't like it, but I don't know. Yeah, I think that's just how it is with older brothers.
Yeah, that's brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Older siblings in general, where your parents like, just go hang out with your brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not him!
Yeah. What about if you had a friend that's like, let's say they're a different culture, but then they start to say the things that you say and copy how you say them.
Joe, you know what's funny?
Not black at all or Japanese, but they're just like, okay, I think that's the cool way to speak.
Yeah, that would be crazy if like one of my non-black friends just started calling me the N-word.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
they
you
think
need
they have
to
the
chill.
card. Yeah.
No,
like,
no.
Yeah, she says cool. Gucci says cool. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think like you kind of start to mirror your friends in some ways.
Yeah.
Like naturally.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of happens over time, but like not consciously, not like taking over their identity. That I haven't experienced, and that would be fucking weird.
That is weird, yeah.
Yeah, no matter how you spin that, be like, oh, I gotta move around.
Like you start seeing their name after yours in the comedy, like at the comedy club, they're going after you.
That would be insane. That would be
and
insane.
taking your material though?
That I would know. That's fighting
Japanese
grounds.
mom
That's
bits.
fucking fighting grounds. Yeah.
Japanese bobbins.
Oh my god, that would be crazy.
That would be.
But
so
like, what's a
funny.
way that you would, let's say that like in a nightmare world, let's say that's happening. How do you speak to that friend? And they're a friend you care about, so you know.
You gotta punch her in the back of the head, probably.
Is it just physical? Is it purely physical?
No, I wouldn't throw. That's crazy. I don't know how to approach that situation. Be like, well, first of all, if you're taking my jokes, be like, bro, that's my fucking joke. Are you serious? I don't know how I would handle that conversation.
What if she's not that she's taking your jokes, but she's there when you're formulating them, so she catches where your mind's going and just makes the same concept?
I mean, because I've also been in a situation where like I've like asked for referrals for comics, and then I got one from a friend of mine. They were like, oh, she's like Asian and black, kind of like you. And I was like, I don't care. Like, we have similar experiences. That actually makes it a lot easier for me. She'll do all the explaining first, and then I could just do the joke later. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I don't know that I'd be bothered, but I'm gonna do it better. So.
Maybe it'll just wear off. Maybe they'll just like get tired of copying. Could be that.
Yeah, it could be that, but.
Dang, I'm kind of offended this never happened to me. No one ever copied me.
Yeah, it's kind of flattering when somebody does.
It's also kind of hard to notice unless it's someone you're seeing all the time. Like you'd have to be going to school or something. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you don't know they're copying you.
Steve told me that you know how I break into accents a lot. So I would say things so repeatedly that people would start it's like in their brain, so they would copy me. And he goes, man, I had to catch myself the other day because I kept going, oh, I'm so hungry. And it seems like, oh shit, I'm in public.
Big white guy saying that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
I can second to that because now I catch myself doing so many Japanese accents because of this dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Vietnamese stuff. Yeah.
Because of Anthony doing Vietnamese stuff or this guy doing Vietnamese stuff.
It's hard. You gotta catch yourself.
Because I'm hanging around this guy, I'm always looking up Vegas fucking properties.
Hey, that's good. Good for you.
Nah, dude, I'm never gonna go there. Okay.
You get a pass though, because people won't know.
Yeah.
Right? It's dangerous for Steve.
Oh yeah, that's dangerous.
But they might think he was born and raised in China, but no one's gonna give him that pass, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's very few reasons why it would bother you unless you had to see it all the time. A person copying you.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like you'd have to be like, and when you're secure in yourself, you don't really give a shit. I don't know. I'm like.
I'm sure if it's like high school though, that probably happens to everybody. Like, whoever's popular, everybody starts copying them, and then it just gets kind of weird.
I know someone that copies Bart a lot. It's so funny.
They copy Bart now.
Yeah.
What's her name?
So like, it's like when Bart does something for his vlogs, right? Just out of nowhere, this person does something very similar. And then when Bart buys something, right?
What?
When Bart buys something, all of a sudden this person buys the same thing. And then you just see a pattern and you're just like, is someone being inspired or is this like, it just seems like straight up copying.
The fans will call that out too. That's the funny part.
It's another YouTuber or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, another YouTuber.
The fans started calling it out. It was funny.
It's so funny because I'm like,
how does it make you feel?
Yeah, how do you feel?
It doesn't really affect me because I know this person and I'm like, this person would do that.
He probably just goes, oh, that's a good idea. And sees it as inspiration,
probably.
right?
Because the one that caught me off guard the most, I was like, what the fuck? Was in my stories, I post like most of my workouts are in my stories. And there's this one I just thought it was funny. Like I'm in the middle of workout and I really had to take a shit. So I was like, oh, 3 sets of 10 of this, and then 2 sets of 10 of this, and then the other one was me entering into the bathroom for one set of taking a shit, and I came back out. So I just went into the bathroom.
Only one set, huh?
Just one set. I went in, I came out, and then I finished the rest of my workout.
That's so funny.
This person does 0 fitness content, 0. And then one day in their stories he was like lifting in his garage, and he was like 1 set I have to go in the bathroom, and the 1 set comes back out. What? And I saw that, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like,
I'm sitting right next to you, dude. Just call me out, all right?
It's just 0 fitness content, 0. And I was like,
That's
okay.
the new wave you're starting, bro.
Oh, that's weird.
All of a sudden, your wife is in his vlogs. It's just taking over your fucking life.
Just the same haircut.
I don't know how it is in you guys' niche, but in our kind of self-development niche, kind of the unwritten rule is if you make a video that pops the fuck off, it's okay for other people to copy you as long as it's not gonna like pop off harder than yours.
Oh, really?
So everybody's just copying each other.
So no one's mad unless it surpasses their wow.
Is it but doesn't that create like a trend though, and it kind of like works this ecosystem out for you guys, or is it like line for line copying? Like, yeah, what's a good example of that? Yeah.
I mean, mostly it's just the idea, you know, the general.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of just a premise.
Yeah.
If everyone's making job videos, then everyone's just like,
I see.
Because really, there's no new premises under the sun.
Yeah,
really,
you're right.
there isn't anything new that you can come up
I've
with.
straight up stolen titles, pretty much.
I love it.
being black in America. He's all, how am I gonna do this? This is tough.
I'll pull it off though. Their thumbnail exactly the same, and then
And it's him in his jawline.
yeah. But in the description, I'm just like, yo, shout out, so thanks for the inspo.
That's tight. Well, that's cool.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
at least that. Yeah, that's nice to do.
Yeah, because I do feel like it's in the self-development world, like the concepts are all similar, and it's just people say it in their own words or whatever to make it more relatable. So I feel like that makes sense.
But I mean, like, I'm talking about straight up word for word copying. There was, remember when
that's
David was
weird.
calling out all those YouTubers that were literally
Stealing
line for
jokes.
line
Yeah.
stealing
You
jokes.
remember that, right? When people were taking old like Richard Pryor shit, and they were making TikToks, and they were
that's
just
how
like,
Amy Schumer's whole career started.
Hers is crazy.
and her writers' careers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sides are wild.
Yeah.
word for word.
Now that stuff is crazy.
Or SNL when they started ripping like small creators and making whole sketches.
Dude, they stole some of our sketches.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like the Ultra V-neck sketch we created.
old school. Yeah.
Yeah. Deep cut.
Yeah, really deep. You know when you guys made the transition to news? I don't know if you ever noticed how many other YouTubers started making news.
Yeah, like even Batch, Fusi.
But the funny thing is, they even told us straight up, like, oh, how do you do that? And then we'll just be like, yeah, this is the format. This is how we run it. This is how we shoot it. Then they do it. And we're like, I don't really take offense to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't, because what you bring is unique. Ultimately, I think same thing. It's like if I'm on the lineup with another comedian who has a similar experience to me, you know, it would be crazy for me to be like, don't talk about your Asian and black stuff. That's your what? Like, what are you talking about? That's my whole shit. Like,
Right before they're said, hey, do me a favor, just
don't do anything.
Can you avoid?
Yeah, because I'm gonna do all of my stuff. No, like I'm not gonna do that because that's your experience. It's going to be your take on that experience. So it's like,
Like, do we have the same mom? Like, come on.
Imagine us calling our friends like, "Hey, don't be sitting in a group with your friends and talking."
Don't film it either.
Dude, at least it's not like when Fine Brothers tried to trademark React. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
That was brutal.
They were, but not socially, so they pulled it back because everyone hated them.
They actually
Everyone reacts to shit.
invited us over afterwards, and then we had a good chat about it because we did a funny JK News video about that
About it?
because everyone was covering it.
Yeah.
So
it was
then
huge.
they were so caught off guard with the reaction of the React ownership.
So they really didn't see that
They
coming.
didn't. No.
Good lord.
I think for them, it's like the format is theirs, the specific format.
Yeah.
But clearly, nobody can actually copyright the word React. It's not possible. So they didn't think people would take it as like they're gonna come after everybody who's using the word React. Yeah. Or like even reacting to videos. For them, it was they're trying to protect their own format that
Their
they
IP
created.
that they
Yeah.
believe- Okay.
Yeah, and then they wanted to, I don't know, but I get it though, because the guys are like, you know how sometimes when people are like super techie, you know,
Right. They're
like
looking at the
brainiacs,
language and the.
they don't get like how people might take it and be
Sociologic
like,
impact.
right.
Yeah.
And when I met them and we did so many collabs together, I was like, okay. What's cool is the way that they just reached out to everybody and they're like, hey, can you tell us like what's going on, like, and how we might have fucked up? And then I think they reached out to all the YouTubers that made videos about it and criticized them.
Wow.
And then they invited us to kind of like come in, and then we started doing React videos at their channel, all that stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That was still like I still see videos about that being one of the top historically bad decisions.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, for
YouTube.
sure. I
It's
think
crazy.
they just didn't know how to communicate that in layman's terms because they did it in legal terms, and nobody likes that shit, right?
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
that's so interesting. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think people get up in a pickle about it.
Yeah. I guess it feels like now you can't do something like, or else you're copying them, and it was such a simple thing of like just
Yeah.
reacting to stuff, man.
Not everyone has React. You know, like on TikTok.
Yeah,
Like their
green
screen is
screen.
here, and then the ones above, or it's behind them, or whatever. Like that's
Yeah.
everyone does that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but what people were thinking is that they want to monopolize that format and then like control it all, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, come on, dude, these guys aren't, you know, big tycoons that are exploiting the creator. Like they just wanted it. Yeah.
I'm just surprised they didn't have anyone on their team that had enough of a voice to be like, hey guys, I think they're gonna take this badly.
I think when they explained to us in person, it made total sense.
Yeah.
But the way that the video was created, I think there was a lot of, yeah.
Yeah, people were pretty pissed.
Yeah. But yeah, it's stuff like that. I think I don't know. Maybe they thought that people would give them the benefit of the doubt, and not
That's a bad read on internet society, though.
Yeah. No, you gotta cover all
Benefit
ground.
of the doubt from like all of the internet.
You know, because of YouTube and internet and canceling, though, I think people started to preface everything of like, I'm not a misogynist and this and that and this and this and this, and I have to explain my joke and then I'm gonna execute my joke. Before, people used to just they just used to communicate, you know?
You feel like that doesn't that backfire a little bit though when people try to preface it with like, I'm not racist, but here's my, you know. Like,
I think it destroys satire.
Well, like, you know what it is like when people have to go like, what do they? Yeah, so they have to explain what it's not before
tell you what
it is. Instead of like, oh, I'm not racist, but it's more like I'm not talking about these people or these people, and they have to point out the obvious, and then they have to do their joke. I think that ruins it like crazy.
especially if it's a joke.
It's like, clearly you're not.
But then there are idiots out there.
Yeah, but that's what they're worried about.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, so you have to.
And then once the idiots run amok, it's hard to stop the momentum.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, good, yeah, we wasn't talking about that one. All right, cool.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Honestly, let the idiots be idiots. Good for engagement.
That's right.
I learned this trick from some girl on the internet, but she pins the worst comment so that everybody goes to that comment and just continues to interact. Yeah. Whether it's like in defense of or in agreement of, they go there.
That's a very smart thing to do because
Yeah.
I mean that's gonna help your algo more than anything. It's just people fighting back and forth, returning to the post.
Yup. That is true.
It's gonna push you up.
I've been guilty of doing that, just saying some dumb shit in the comments and just letting people fucking fight amongst themselves. How could you say something like that? And they're just writing paragraphs that I'm never gonna read.
Dude.
Rage baiting is so fun.
That's
So
this guy.
fun. So fun.
Stuff wrong, so people are like, YOU.
Oh, that's next level.
Just to like fucking have people commenting.
that? How people purposely will mispronounce or say the wrong thing on videos so that
Graham Stephan does it all the time.
yeah, isn't that crazy?
I didn't realize.
Graham Stephan, he always does. He'll be like, "What's be guys" or whatever, or he'll be like he'll switch words on purpose, and he does beta testing, and then because he switches up the words, the comment section goes crazy.
Yeah, there's a dude who blew up on like shorts for doing like video game content, and you know like in Zelda games the main character's Link.
Yeah.
So it's like a big mistake that sometimes people would call that person Zelda. And this guy does it every video. He goes, and then you're gonna want to get Zelda to go over here. And then the comments are full of it, like, you idiot, you fake gamer, you don't even know. And he's been doing it for a year straight.
You fake gamer.
Yeah, and it never ends. Like this guy cracked the code.
Wow.
Yeah,
You should rage bait more, huh?
Not you.
I feel like we do it anyway, but unintentionally.
Well, I think we rage bait so hard that they just don't want to follow us anymore. It might be real rage. Yeah.